Improvement comes from drawing conclusions based on the decisions that we make every single day. Far too commonly, the outcomes of decisions are equated to decision quality. I'm going to tell you why this is so harmful and how you can get around it. If you're new here, my name is Dani, Kilani. I'm a first-year medical student in Canada. In today's video, we're going in depth on one mistake that the vast majority of us make in our efforts towards self-improvement. To get there, I'm going to tell you about why poker makes a better lifelike model of decision-making than chess. I'll tell you about a logical fallacy called resulting, and I'm going to guide you through how we can more effectively learn from our past decisions. Before we get into it, subscribe to the channel for more on mindsets, medical school, and the human condition. If you've ever played even a little bit of chess, you're probably familiar with the idea that at every turn in a chess game, there's a perfectly optimal decision that you could be making. In essence, chess is more like a puzzle than a simulation of real-life decision-making. In real life, there are tons of variables that are beyond our control or awareness. A realistic game must have three elements, and those are uncertainty, risk, and the potential for deception. None of those elements are particularly prevalent in a game of chess. In chess, if one player is just a little bit better than the other, it's almost inevitable that if they have the white pieces, they're going to win, and if they have black pieces, they'll tie. The challenge of making decisions in real life comes from hidden information, as well as the influence of the often unpredictable external factors that we often call luck. So why is poker better as a model for lifelike decision making? In poker, you are dealt incomplete information and forced to make decisions in the presence of uncertainty. In chess, you can see the location of every single piece on the board, while in poker, it's inevitable that some valuable information is going to be hidden from you. Like real life, poker also involves an element of luck, such that you could make the best possible decision based on the available information and still lose a hand. This is much like life, where even the best possible decisions can lead to a poor outcome. If I were to ask you what the best decision you made in the past year was, you would probably tell me the one that had the best outcome. The same goes for your worst decision, where you might tell me about the one with the worst outcome. Imagine driving home drunk and then making it home safely. And after sobering up, you conclude that this was a good decision because you had made it home safely. This faulty reasoning is commonly referred to in poker as resulting. Resulting is where we equate the quality of a decision with the quality of its outcome. Not only is this way of thinking illogical, but it's also bad for our self-confidence, where losing due to our own decisions results in an attack on our own identity. So if outcomes are a poor indicator of decision quality, then what does it take to learn from our decisions? The fact is that we have to be intentional with how we interpret decision quality. When it comes down to it, our decisions' outcomes are based on two things: the decision itself and luck. Once we can effectively discern how much each factor played a role in the decision outcome, only then can we start to make accurate conclusions about decision quality and learn from our past decisions. The first step in learning from our decision involves admitting that there is a degree of uncertainty surrounding that decision. We must also acknowledge that we can't know with certainty what the outcome of any given decision will be. Throughout my life, from kindergarten up until medical school, admitting that you did not know something was often seen as negative. Instead, we need to treat our decisions like a scientist treats an experiment, with overwhelming curiosity and a little bit of ignorance. With this mental shift, we can redefine what we consider to be a good decision. In evaluating what makes a good decision, you should be focused on the quality of the decision-making process in the context of the currently available information. Instead of thinking about how certain we are that the outcome will take place, we should instead focus on thinking about how uncertain we are that the outcome will occur. Our degree of uncertainty towards a decision tells us about how much information we have and how much experience we have making similar decisions. When we're able to accept that we don't always have to be sure of something, we're able to move away from the black and white thinking and begin to appreciate the gray in between. Ultimately, this allows us to evaluate our decisions more objectively and take their true lessons with us into the future. When we acknowledge that our world is ruled by probabilities and uncertainty, we can avoid mistakenly concluding that poor outcomes are due to poor decisions alone. Instead, we can acknowledge that our decision may have been of good quality, but was hindered by incomplete information or bad luck. Because the world we live in is much more like poker than chess, it is inevitable that we face the occasional bad outcome. But improving your decision making in the most objective way possible will help you to optimize for better outcomes. Thank you for watching this week's video. If you liked it, please do subscribe and check out the other videos on my channel. I've done one video on how I optimize my learning in medical school using flashcards, and another on a system that I use to study without motivation.